Welcome. I'm just sorting out my pieces for tonight. I feel like tonight is the no whammies night because we had such an easy block.
That sounds like could be jinxing herself.
And
all right, who do we got tonight?
I cut it with AccuQuilt, so even better.
Let's see. Donna, welcome. Hi, Cheryl. Diane. Cindy Voss, how are you tonight? Debbie, Karen. Louise. Beverly, welcome. Hi, Cindy. Joan.
Hi, Joan.
Say hi to Joan.
Hi, Joan.
It's the Joan Show. Hey, Patsy, how are you tonight? We were just standing here talking that it's a little weird that it's still light outside.
I know.
Let's just keep it this way.
They're trying to, but there's as many people in favor of it as there is opposed to it. Keeping daylight savings. I like the daylight because
yeah,
it feels like I'm done if I leave work and it's dark outside. I'm done. I'm not doing anything else. Not going sewing or anything like that. So.
Hey, Carla. Hey, Carol. Kathy, how are you tonight? Greetings from South Dakota. Big day.
Welcome.
Graduated from therapy today. Everyone give her a round of applause.
Woohoo.
They said your sunburn looks much better.
Yeah, I got makeup on today. This is I think this is the second day I've worn makeup because my face was peeling so bad.
Cindy wanted to know, are you doing the Ditto demo tonight?
We are.
We are set up for the demo.
A very special show for you tonight. I figured out some things with the Ditto and figured out why it wasn't connecting. And yes, we are. We're going to do it right after we finish our block.
Carrie, Lana, how are you tonight? As always, we have a giveaway.
We do have a giveaway.
Thread of the month.
We'll
wait a couple more minutes and let some more people jump on. We actually have a count now. That's good.
Nice.
So I finally fixed that.
Well, let's do our sound checks. What does it sound like on Facebook and YouTube? Yeah. So give us somebody give us a thumbs up from both of those channels, and we can talk about our little dog, Jilly Jello, who's the escape artist.
Hey, Janine, how are you tonight?
So Sunday, she went on a walkabout.
Yeah, she went walkabout, all right.
So our door
check
didn't close quite all the way. So we live in the city, and it is very busy, but she's cute and adorable. So thankfully, a nice lady named Susan picked her up and posted, and I didn't even know this site existed. We were out driving around for hours. If you ever lost your dog, it's like a member of the family being missing. So we were driving for hours looking for her, and then it was getting dark, so we said, okay, well, let's just go home because obviously somebody's picked her up. And Facebook has a Lost Pets page for I'm sure it's for your area too. And there she was. Popped right up. There were plenty of tears to go around for everybody. So we're very grateful that she's back home and safe.
Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Carol. Kayla, how are you tonight? Sounds good. Welcome from Nixa. Kathy Leader, how are you? Judy Brennan, welcome. Buddy, wishing Judy a speedy recovery there. Sounds like she's getting a little bit better. Tom, how are you, sir? And a dog, it's a rat terrier.
She's about that big. She's white. She's old. So she doesn't hear
Julie,
real well.
How are you tonight?
And she doesn't see real well. So I'm sure she was walking the path that we used to walk. And she'd stay on the sidewalk, I'm sure. But very happy to have her back. So thank you to everybody on Johnson County Lost Pets. I think it's Lost Pets of Johnson County or something like that. So, was very happy.
So, smash up the like. Tom threw it out there. Smash up the like button. Hit the bell. Subscribe.
Likes, follow, subscribe, notify.
Call us, browse.
And be sure to comment because we do have a giveaway for tonight. It's a pattern and everything you need to make it. Well, not quite everything, but most of the stuff
how are
you need.
you?
So let's just get started.
Who are we?
are Windmill Sewing Center, Sewing Machines Express, and Quilters HQ. The websites are windmillsewingcenter.com, QHQ2.com, and quiltershq.com. We are on block 13 of our Stitch Paint Sew Along, and I am so excited about this one. This is an Ohio Star. What did they call it? They called it Rock and Roll. This is an Ohio Star, and I was able to cut it out with AccuQuilt, so it took me less than a minute to cut out all these pieces. So class is coming up Wednesday, April 12th through 14th. We have a retreat at Quilters HQ. Trixie Zip Pouch, Thursday, March 16th, 1 to 5. That's like this weekend, right?
Could be. I don't know.
Today's the 13th.
We're in show mode.
13th or the 14th? Today's the 14th. So, it'll be Thursday. Today's Tuesday. It'll be Thursday. This Thursday at Quilters HQ. Cost is $25. Betsy Russell is teaching that class. And if you hear something that sounds like a coffee pot, that's a steamer that's new from Singer, and we're going to show you that here in a minute. Reverse applique notebook cover. That is part of Embroidery Club. And that is Wednesday, April 8th from 10 to 12:30. And Saturday, April 8th. Nope, they're both Saturday. I said Wednesday. I was reading Saturday. I don't know why I said Wednesday. Saturday, April 18th at Windmill, 10 to 12:30. And at Quilters, 1:30 to 4. Beginning quilting, April 26th. Oh, wow.
I think it means 3.14.
Oh, it's Pie Day, isn't it?
Yeah, John said it's Pie Day, and Judy said she went to Hen House and got a pie. So I think we're talking about two different pies, but
I think that some of the pizza places are doing a discount too.
You get 3.14.
3.14% off. I don't know.
There you go.
Beginning quilting Thursday, April 6th through the 27th.
$3.14 a slice. That's what she said she got it for.
Nice. 10 to 12 at Quilters, 1 to 3 at Windmill. AccuQuilt Club is this Thursday. We are starting a new project, so you don't want to miss out on that one. I think it's cute, but I designed it, so that might be a little bit conceited. Ruler Club, Saturday monthly from 1 to 3. Next meeting is March 18th, which is this Saturday. Okay, everything else is like back out in April, so we are not going to talk about that. And then next week is AQS Branson. So be sure and come and see us at Sewing Machines Express down there. We have Aero cabinets, we have Juki sewing machines, we have Janome sewing machines and long arms. We have Juki long arms as well. We have Viking sewing machines. If you're looking for a good one, come check it out. We'll have classroom machines. So we're doing the Opal in the classroom.
Viking. M7 in the Janome and 9450s in the other room. So
M7
great specials
and 9450s.
we'll have on all of those machines.
So if I was looking for a machine and I'd already looked at those, I would call the store not right now, but tomorrow, and reserve your sewing machine so that you get one of those classroom machines because they'll have amazing prices on them.
Yeah, I don't want to bring them back. I have to pack them.
So, and we can ship them too. So, yeah. If you're thinking about one, call the store. It's QHQ2.com. Give them a call. Do they have the pricing yet?
We have to do work on that.
We'll be down there tomorrow. So give us a call tomorrow. So shall we get started with this block?
Sure.
And I'm back in the groove again. So this is on the website now for you to download. And it's a really simple block, which is great because that's going to leave us a lot of time to do the ditto and the steamer. So we're going to start. We're going to sew all of these together. It's important that you don't flip these the wrong way. So all of these together, we're just going to sew them down one side. And I'm just checking to make sure that my little doohickey, and I am going to start from the flat side so that I don't have to worry about my sides getting poked down into the machine. 1.8 stitches all the way up to super speed, and we're ready to go. So what I was saying is you don't want to sew one together like this. I don't know that it would really matter, but I think it would. So I'm feeling like this is the block that I've needed to get past the whammies. Does everybody remember that show? I don't remember the name of it. But it had the whammy thing on it. Do you? Before your time. Then we go around a square and it had whammies, and then the people would be going like, no whammies, no whammies. And then they'd hit a button and it would stop. Somebody tell us what the name of that show was.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Can't let you so fast.
I'm using this little guide, which is super cool. So when you have this, it's available for, well, I know Brina has them. The TL18 has it. I don't know about the 2010 or the 2015. I like it better than using the 1/4-inch foot, because the 1/4-inch foot can have a little bit of movement in it, and I like to push my edges right up next to that guide.
They said press your luck.
Press your luck. Thank you. No whammies. And then there was the guy that cracked the code on it. He figured out their algorithm, and so he went on this winning spree. And they thought he was cheating, but how can you cheat, right? If somebody figures out your algorithm, fair game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to use my doohickey here to press these seams all in one direction. And then we're going to make our blocks, and then this is just a really simple 9 patch. I like making these this way because my seams usually line up pretty well. Okay, that's all done. These will nest perfectly, just one on top of the other. I'm going to line up that center seam so that my seams are nesting nicely here. And we are ready to go. And I am going to sew a little bit slower so that I can line up these edges, those corners. The name of that show was Press Your Luck.
Ah. Hey Ruth, how are you? Hey Karen.
It is kind of weird seeing daylight out. So how many people had to get up and go to work today? With the time change. Or yesterday. I'm sorry, I was out yesterday. I keep thinking it's like my Monday. That's why Robert was giving me a funny look. He's like, what are you talking about?
Slower, she said, as she put the pedal to the pedal.
Well, you know, it was a little bit slower.
Spring break, I'm off all week. All right. We got another lady
Nice.
come in today that was buying a bunch of quilting stuff so she could get her spring break going.
Nice.
Hey Linda, how are you? Welcome from Riverside, California.
Ooh, Riverside, are you getting flooding?
Patty, welcome. How are you tonight?
Riverside's the desert, and I know they
Hey Beth.
sometimes do. So I'm going to lay this out to make sure that all my pieces are going the right way. So we want pink on the inside because we have a red center square here. And there are 4 corner blocks. So let's just go for it. It's almost start time to start putting air conditioning on again.
I think I might have kicked on today for a minute. Oh, Beth's all caught up on her blocks. That's cool.
Nice. Me too.
Kathy's still got 30 inches of snow.
Yikes. It's always amazing to me that it can be warm in some places and still snowing in others.
Hey, Kitty.
See, I told you this was an easy block. You can just zippity-doo through.
Zippity-doo. Zippity-doo-dah.
Yep.
Hey, Julie, how are you tonight?
Welcome. We are working on block 13, and I'm going to press these seams towards the white because that's my unpieced side. Oops. Right there. These will go towards the middle. And then back towards the sides. And I'm just making sure my seam is lined up right here.
Everyone's doing well, Julie. Where's the creative needle located? Inquiring minds want to know.
And last seam and we're done.
Wow.
I know. Love it when blocks go together quickly.
South Louisiana. Well, welcome.
Next seam. Next seam's trying to fold under on me. And then line up our edges. This building does make noise at night. Every once in a while I hear little pops and creaks and stuff. Okay, and we are finished with tonight's block. Super easy block.
Well, Julie, you might like this one tonight. We're actually going to demo something that kind of has to do with what you do for your day job.
There it is.
What did you say?
Okay. Easy block. Everybody will still be caught up after this one. Okay, so if you want to cut it out with AccuQuilt, your dies are die number 4 and die number 1 from the 8-inch cube. So just to let you know, that's super easy right there. And I'm going to grab my mouse and my keyboard because I'm going to come around. We're going to do some shuffling because I'm going to show you a really cool system. And so this is the, here, can you see the TV? I can turn a little bit.
Well, we might be able to just be
Yeah.
closer in here. Because you're going to demo those two, aren't you?
Yep. After this. So this is called Ditto. And basically this is the footprint of this. And it might be a little bit bigger on our bottom here because I'm not quite level. So there's a little leveling dial right here, and I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit. And we're actually going to turn the lights out here too. So this is a projection system from, it's made by Ditto, and Singer is helping to distribute it for them. So if you like to make clothing, well, first let me say, I hate clothing shopping because nothing really fits right. I have a longer body and short little legs. And so when I buy clothes, nothing ever really fits right. But if I wanted to make my own clothes, this system will allow me to modify the pattern. So I have a little t-shirt pulled up and we're going to show you how this system works. Because it actually projects the pattern down onto, and I'm going to cut out the back of this and mark it and show you how you can do this. If we have time, we do have time. We can cut the whole thing out. No time to sew it together, but I might finish it and show you the finished t-shirt. Probably not next week because we'll be in
Hey, Cecilia.
AQS Branson next week, so no show next week. Because we're setting up. We might go live for a minute if they'll let us.
Yeah, it kind of depends on how much time we have and how much work is left to do.
Right. So I have this t-shirt pulled up and...
You want to kill the light?
Not yet. Can you see very well?
No, not really.
Okay. On the screen?
Mm-hmm.
So I've picked my size. But you can customize the size too and put your measurements in. And the cool thing about this,
Maybe okay.
okay.
Lights. I don't know where the thing is.
All right, Robert's saying we need
You
to.
can try it, and we'll see if this shows up a little better for you guys. No, not really.
Not really.
This will definitely show.
That will definitely show up better. So I don't know if you can see very well. It's free to go out to dittopatterns.com and set up your profile and set up your account. But you can put in all of your measurements right here and save them. I'm just going to cancel out of it. Oops. But so like if you're like me and you're longer in the body, you can make this pattern a little bit longer. And so you do need a tablet to use it. If you have a very large phone, you can. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in the app itself. So I already have this. This is this pattern and it's set up on here. And I've already sent, this is the front of the t-shirt. And if Molly will just show the projected, what's projected down onto. And so it's actually projecting this pattern down onto this map. And so I've got it there. We're going to go ahead and just cut this out really quick. Robert, will you hand me the rotary cutter? Okay. And so I have my Frixion pen, and I'm just going to mark right here because this is my marking for the sleeve holes. And I've done this with scissors, and the rotary cutter is going to be so much better because when you pick it up with the scissors, it kind of changes where the pattern is being projected. And besides, I'm so much faster with a rotary cutter. So no paper patterns to try and fold back together. And then I'm going to come over here and do this one. And I might have better luck going around it, but I'm going to do it this way.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to work around the cameras and stuff, so you'd want to be able to walk around it so you can get a good angle depending on which hand you are. That's right.
From this angle, left-handed would be better. Okay. So I've got my piece cut out. Okay. Now, you watched me mark this on one side. And these weights, they do come with the system. And so I'm going to flip this because I need to mark the other side as well. And so what I'm going to do in my tablet, I'm going to clear this. Well, actually, I'm just going to select it. And then I'm going to mirror it. So that when I flip this and then send to the projector, and if you look now, my pattern piece has been flipped. And so I can line this up right here.
What are these other lines, Joan, on here?
And mark my sleeve placements. So right here, and this is just a friction pin, so it's going to disappear when this t-shirt gets washed and thrown into the dryer. So the other lines on here are, let me flip it back so I can read it. So bust line, if you need to shorten or lengthen, but if you put your measurements in, you don't really need to. So if you were cutting out a paper pattern, this is where you would take your paper pattern and put it up against your dress form and kind of shorten your fabric. You would fold it up like that. And then this is your waistline. So this area right here is if you were, you know, Nancy Zeman taught us just a ton about modifying patterns. This area right here is where you would be able to shorten or lengthen your top. So that's our back, or our front. So, and I'm not going to mark back and front because the back doesn't have quite as deep of a scoop. So I'm going to pull my fabric forward, fold it over again.
Nothing like the digital age of clothing.
I know, right? And so,
Hey Ruth, how are you tonight?
if you were doing a business, and so say you wanted to make bridesmaid dresses, so this would be perfect. So we can talk about pricing for a minute. This system is $7.99, and they have a couple of ways that you can get patterns. So Ditto has a subscription where you can get all of the Ditto patterns for $10 a month or $100 a year. And then so I'm just going to clear out.
Which of these would you be interested in?
Our TV's a smart TV, and so it just started talking to me.
Sign in to your Samsung account and SmartThings to continue.
I'll let you have that. So on my tablet, I'm just going to select this pattern and clear. And then to bring my back over, I'm just going to press it. Let's see if I can tilt it so we can get it better. And then drag it. And then drag it over. And I can move it around, so I can move it a little closer to me or more in the middle. And I might just move it a little closer to me. Not too close because my table's a little smaller than my mat. And then I'm going to send to projector. And there you can see it just switched over to that new pattern piece. And so I'm just going to line up my fold. I asked what kind of fabric this was. This is just regular t-shirt cotton. So it's a jersey fabric. I think they would call it a light jersey. Set my weights down. And then we're ready to cut. So if you're here local or even watching the show, don't be surprised if you see me wearing a lot of like little batik sleeveless tops, because I could live in a sleeveless shirt probably the rest of my life. Little spot right there. Okay. And then I'm going to get my friction pen. Mark my armholes again. 2 little marks this time. And then with my tablet, I'm just going to mirror this piece. Send it back to the projector again. And then I can flip my pattern piece over to mark the other side. And for a t-shirt, it doesn't have to be super, super exact. Okay. And there's my back. Next piece is going to be the sleeves, and I need 2 of those. Send a projector, and there's my sleeves. And so I'll take the remainder of my fabric and just kind of fold it here. I'm trying to salvage as much of it as I can. And we're just going to cut both of these out at the same time. And these are pretty heavy little weights, so once you have your fabric down like this, it's not going to move around a lot on you. And so as soon as we get this cut out, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff in the app if we can make it project on the screen.
Somebody asked about the seam allowance?
So typically all clothing manufacturer or pattern makers use a 5/8 seam allowance. It's a little bit bigger than a half, but if you're using a serger, so there's a couple ways. So like a t-shirt, I would just take this t-shirt and sew it. And so now I'm going to mark my pieces. Right there, right there. It is very important, and center. We want to mark center. It is very important that you mark the 2 notches and the 1 notch so that you know front and back. So I'm going to flip it over. I still need to mirror this pattern so that I get my little marks in the right place.
So somebody was asking, do you need to purchase an iPad and a projector? So you can use an Android, or if you have a tablet. I mean, you don't need to necessarily purchase one, but if you don't have, you could use your phone, but I just think it would be a little bit more difficult.
The phone's a little bit small.
Yeah, unless you got one of the bigger phones maybe, but it'd be kind of hard to see and manipulate.
But you could. You absolutely could use your phone. And that's it. Our pattern is cut out. So it's a real simple t-shirt pattern. I'm going to turn the lights back on. So in business, sometimes you make these decisions. You're like, okay, well, that would be really cool. This is one of our good decisions. So all of the lights in the store when we're leaving, we don't have to go through and turn off lights after lights after lights. It's all on a little key fob where we can just whoop, and they're on and off. So here are my pattern pieces, and you can see, you know, with the friction pin, how well they're marked. So super easy. And then that pattern just uses a cover stitch to do the edge of the unfinished portions. So super easy to sew together. Let's see if we can. So if you go out to Ditto Patterns, some of the patterns are customizable. Let's see if we can get to one. So you can sort by brands. So not all of the Ditto patterns are included in the subscription. And if you see this customizable, that means that once you select your pattern, so next thing I have to do is select my size.
Tells you how to measure yourself.
It does tell you how to measure yourself. So in this pattern, I can make it ankle length, I can make it T length, below the knee. Right now it's knee length, so that just modified the pattern for me. And based on your selection, so at knee length, which is the default, I can change this pattern to a boat neck, which I could see that pattern being very summer friendly, and sleeveless. So it's going to pop up. The TV is a smart TV and it keeps listening to me talk. So once you have it, you can just add the pattern to your library. So I'm going to do that now because, and then go to my pattern library. And let's just select this pattern. So once I have it in my pattern library, I can do size customization because I'm kind of, a little bigger in the bust. So if you click on, can we get like
you can go closer.
a lot closer? Yeah, sorry. Okay. So if you click on, here I'm going to go back out so you can kind of see this. So these are all of the measurements so that you can go through that will fit this. One of the things I'm going to send to them is, can we have a profile? Right? So, but if you don't know how to take your back length measurement, it'll actually show you. Front length, center, back point, and it'll show you how to measure your, this is I think called the fall. So how much room in your bust do you need? Oh look, they even give you hints. It says tie elastic or ribbon around your natural waist, and that gives you kind of a hint. So once you have all of these set, then you can save it. I'm not going to go through all of that, but I'm just going to hit cancel, and it will modify this pattern for you. So if you're a taller person, or you have a longer body, or say you're, one of those really lucky people that have really long legs and a shorter body, then, some of these patterns might not be as nice for you without modification. So all of your measurements can be adjusted for the patterns that say customizable. There are also in here, so we don't really need to get close for this. I can just bring them up. Let's go to brands. Butterick, patterns.
Is Indy in there?
Indy?
Yeah, not in there right now.
Not yet. Quick Sew, Leslie and Company, Madeline Intimates, McCall's, and there's one that's named. Let's click on that and see if there's anything in it. So named, so cute little button-down dress. So in the other brands of patterns, you get all sizes. So say you're a seamstress for a living and you're making bridesmaids dresses. So usually it's one pattern or maybe two patterns, two styles of a dress, but you have, say if there's, 4 bridesmaids, you have 4 different sizes and 4 measurements. When you buy, say a Butterick or a McCall's pattern, you get all sizes. You cannot customize those sizes, so you don't have the ability to put in like the ditto where you can put in the bust and the measurement. So you are going to have to use your seamstress skills to modify those, or look for a similar pattern in the ditto patterns that can be modified for something like that. And they do have some very elegant dresses that could be easily modified and have all that work done for you.
Yeah, we actually have someone on here from Louisiana who sews for a living.
Yeah.
She makes pageant dresses and things. So she's kind of spoken to a little bit of it. This is the start. Projectors have been around for some time, right? This is the start of the commercialized side of it.
Right.
And I think it will just keep growing, right? I mean, there'll be more customization. They'll work out with the different pattern companies and things like that. But
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so the projectors have been around for a while.
Yeah, it's
the customization of the patterns, this is new.
Yeah.
And so it's huge. I mean, I love the thought of being able to go out, and Ditto has, some simple t-shirt patterns, and they have simple sleeveless blouse patterns. But the thing of it is you can modify these patterns. You can add facings or take away facings, and make your garment more sturdy. Because if I'm going to make something, I'm going to make it where it will last. And so, a great resource for, fabric, if you want to do garment construction, is those thrift shops. You can go buy, very large clothing and, remake it. So
If you go into the craft section there are some craft stuff here too. So,
a little pad to put the mouse on here. Yes, there are some craft.
so they've started to put a
patterns
few
in here.
purses in there, and I mean things like that. Some kids stuff, which
Yeah, so there's
So
some
some-
bags.
little projects and things to do, which would be
Zipper
kind of
pouch.
fun for kids to start with too.
Oh, that's actually kind of a cool little wallet there.
Yeah, cool little wallets. I mean, so this is just the foundation or the platform to be able to put some of this stuff out.
Walker
Here.
bags.
So this is just going to keep growing. This is
Yeah.
just the start of it, right? So
So if you want to check it out, it's dittopatterns.com. You can go out there and set up your own account right now and browse through these patterns. In order to use it, you do have to have the Ditto system and either a phone or a tablet. I recommend a tablet, and it will work with Apple or Android, so you don't have to worry about which one. And so I was going to do a demo, and I guess our firewall was blocking me. So, helpful hint, if you run into this at home, you can use your phone as a hotspot and still connect to the projector because it has to connect to the wireless and the Bluetooth. So I have Bluetooth on my tablet, and it's connected to the wireless on our
rental.
and we will have a rental probably by the half an hour, because you saw how long it took me to do this.
So one of the things that we've thought about doing was the rental side of it, because if you don't want to, and maybe you don't make a lot of clothing, but you do want to dabble, or you kind of want to see how it works and not have a huge investment,
Yep.
you could purchase the pattern, and then we would rent you the ditto, and so that you could cut it out and kind of get started with it and not have a huge investment. So,
Try it out. Yeah, try it.
Right.
And it is $7.99 is the price. We will finance anything for 6 months through Synchrony. So if you wanted to spread that over 6 months, we could do that here too. And so with your Sewing and More card, if you have a Bernina card, you can't use it. You have to have the Sewing and More card. But yeah, it's a great system. I'm going to have one.
And I think that, we may do a club or something down
Yep.
the road as well, and maybe they can pick some to kind of explore if you're wanting to do a little bit of garment sewing and you've never done it before, you want to learn. This might be a great way not to have, I can't imagine doing the paper patterns and trying to manipulate all that stuff, as I've watched Nancy Zeman many times on PBS. But so, I mean, this would be a good way to get started, and it would be an intro thing. We've got some instructors that are really excited about it, that would love to, be able to, you can also use your machine to a little more of the fullest, right?
Yes,
Your
absolutely.
serger,
I
and
mean,
how do you, use some of those stitches that are on there, which I think would be great for people. So
yeah. So I have some older patterns that, I'm going to do more. I have some wool. So I'm a bargain basement shopper. So if I'm out and I'm in, especially California where they have the ports, I found some suit weight wool and it was $1 a yard. So I bought all of it. And so I have some patterns for some dresses and jackets and things that I'm going to make. But that's a whole different kind of sewing than sewing together a t-shirt, because you actually cut out your pattern pieces and then you serge around them. And then you piece them with your sewing machine so you get that perfect 5/8 seam, and then press everything open. And with wool, let's talk about the steamer, because that can help you really get a good result from your patterns. So this is also, is this new from Singer, or is this?
no, they've had the garment steamers out there.
So actually,
so this is just one of the steamers that they have.
Yeah.
But we like to carry some of the stuff that would go with sewing garments, because we do have some classes that go with this. So some of those products that you might need, it's always nice to have a steamer in your house anyway. So
I tied a little band around this so that we could create some wrinkles. And this is a knit sweater. It's I don't know what kind of yarn it is, but you can see it's already making steam. And so all you gotta do is just run along this
There's a few ladies that said that if this would have been around when they were in home ec sewing, they might still be sewing.
Never too late to get back into it. So I don't know if you can see. Can you see that all of those wrinkles just fell out of this? And this hanger that this is on, this is built into the system. But yeah, it's actually very nice. So all I'm doing is just gently pulling and then just rubbing this over the garment. And you can, of course, put this up inside the garment and steam from the other side and watch those wrinkles just fall out.
And these aren't very expensive.
No.
It's like $79 or something like that, so it's not a super huge investment.
Yep. So I don't know if this will spin around. And so it kind of lightened up the wrinkles on the back. So I've just got a couple here. But clearly, if you've been watching the show for any time at all, you know I wear these sweaters like all the time. I pretty much live in them. And that's it. That's done. So let me hold this. I'm going to take this off. So they can see the...
Testing it.
There we go. So this is part of your stand, so this is nice. So if you had a suit jacket, super easy to just put that over it.
Adjustable.
Adjustable height, so if you have a dress, then that just parks right there. Super small, so will fit in your closet. I feel like I kind of need one of these too because, you know, my sweaters at the end of the day.
They're nice, always nice to have a steamer around.
Right. Steam will take out any of the perfume that I wear, any body odor that I may have produced during the day. Of course, not me. But, you know, somebody else might have produced during the day. Then you can steam it, and that will remove those odors.
And Beth had a good comment. That'd actually be really nice to steam your batting and top if you are leaving it hang off your long arm.
There you go. Perfect.
That's a great idea. So
that is a great.
That's why we have this community, Beth. You know, these great ideas from you guys, you know, and we just show you stuff. So
and off.
Pretty cool stuff.
So really fun stuff. I would really encourage you to come in. We will have the Ditto set up for you to try it out. So come in, give it a try, give it a whirl. We will be putting together some pricing. It will be after we get back from AQS Branson. So that's next week. So be sure and come down and visit us if you're in the area. Come by and say hi.
Do I get a commission? You always get something, Beth, for sure. We do have a Thread of the Month Club and a giveaway.
Let's grab those.
Julie, the person who sews for a living on here from Louisiana, was asking, have we seen any of these clothes in the stores yet? And I don't know the answer to that.
From the Ditto Patterns.
Yeah.
So somebody making their clothing with Ditto and then selling it in store. I don't know. I haven't been clothes shopping for a while, and so that kind of clothing I don't know that would be in the store. So we're kind of fast fashion in the United States, where you know it's made in another country and shipped over here in mass, and so the kind of clothing that you're making is probably not being, that's custom. So like, you know, Molly's competition uniforms and
band uniform, all those kinds of things. And
right.
Now you'd be able to at least get them customized for the size. Molly does a lot of dance stuff, and I'm sure that not all the ladies have the same size outfits, and so that makes it a little more difficult, more costly. Where if you had a pattern system where you could make those changes a little quicker, that would make the job easier to get those ladies' uniforms and things. So,
like the prom dresses, bridesmaids dresses, christening gowns, flower girl dresses, anything like that. This, if you sew professionally, that's probably what you do the most of, I'm guessing.
Julie was saying that the clothes in the stores are not
Yeah,
really fitting because it doesn't fit every person. So it's kind of nice to be able to get something that make it yourself that fits you, right?
Yeah.
And so,
is it? Okay.
Oh, it's
February.
It's the canary.
She's got to get the canary. So anyway, well.
So our giveaway tonight.
And Rebecca does a lot of
Yeah.
clothing pattern stuff too.
Cosplay
So
is huge.
and cosplay, yeah, which would be nice.
So, cosplay is not that much different than regular garment construction. You start with a base garment that you can use this system to size for yourself. So our giveaway tonight is compliments of Moda, and it is called the French Pocket, and it's a little purse. And it is done with English paper piecing. So you get the paper pieces, the pattern, and I picked out kind of a modern charm pack for you. This one is Zen Chick Frisky, because it looks like a little fun pattern for that. So color of the month is it Daffodil? I don't remember the name of it. It is color number 2120. On the show tonight, it is 15% off. If you're in the club, and the club boxes are on their way, I believe, 20% off. So stay tuned for those.
And we do have Carrie as winners for the AQS tickets, so she'll announce those, as well as we need a winner for this, Carrie. So
winner for the pattern.
She's working on some of that, and a lot of people said they would like to come in and actually demo the Ditto to see if that's something that they would be interested in, which I think that's one of the reasons that we'd like to do it this way, just to give you some opportunity. We're not always about selling everything under the sun, so sometimes you want to try before you buy.
So there's some administrative stuff that we'll need to do, so to block out the time on a calendar for you to come in and
you don't want someone else taking your slot. So.
Right. So, and I don't know what we'll be charging for the time, so there will be a small fee for it, but because there's some dedicated time to go through it with you to help you do your pattern layout, and then you're on your way. One of the things that I actually did not use the Ditto mat to cut. I actually put my rotary cutting mat on top of the Ditto mat because I want to keep it, in good shape. So.
Yeah, it's more of a calibration mat.
Yeah.
So.
It is a cutting mat, but it's more of a calibration mat, and if you get too many scars on it, so when you do the calibration, you can't have anything on the mat, and so if you get too many marks on it, it might see it as an issue with the mat. So
Kayla White was the winner.
Congratulations, Kayla.
Tonight's prize. And
Kayla, if you haven't shopped with us before, please go to quiltershq.com and register for Joan Sews. That gives us your information. If you're local, just come in the store and it'll be available for you tomorrow. And if you're not local, registering for Joan Sews on quiltershq.com will give us your address and we will mail this to you.
Mary Cranford, Donna Armstrong. If any one of you don't live close, I know Mrs. Cranford does. Donna, if you don't live near AQS area, then
Branson,
you can
Missouri.
also yield those tickets back to somebody else. So.
Okay. That's our show. Look at that. We finished up right at 7 o'clock. It's amazing. So as always, check your thread path, change your needle, and oil your rotary hook before you bring your sewing machine in for spa time if you're having an issue.
Thanks, everyone. Come see us in AQS.
And don't forget, no show next week because we will be in Branson getting set up for AQS.
But we might go live. You never know.
We never know. We might go live. We will not be sewing the block together for next week.
Let us
so.
know if everyone enjoyed the fabric sale format where we just did a fabric sale. Because we're thinking about we might do a little more of that, where it's a little more focused on the fabrics. And so that breaks up the topics for the show. So.
Yeah, it does. And then the sew-alongs, we might just move that to a separate night. And or actually just pre-record those and post them. So, good night. Thank you for joining us tonight. Be sure and like, follow, subscribe, and share, and notify. I think that's it.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.